How's it going, everybody? It is I, once again, Mr. Cinema Junkie, and I'm coming at you with a short review for a very brutal movie. The movie I'm speaking of is ATROZ. What does it mean? It means atrocious. And that's exactly what this movie is, in every sense of the word. It is presented by Ruggero Deodato, the director of Cannibal Holocaust, directed by Lex Ortega, made in Mexico, and it just accomplished what they set out to do. They wanted to make a brutal movie. That's exactly what they got here. Brutal. Quick rundown of the synopsis. You have a couple of serial killers who like to stalk and videotape their prey. They're involved in an auto accident where they splatter some poor girl all over the street. Brains everywhere. The police toss their car and they find the video cassette and the camera, and they see the murder of a cross-dressing prostitute. And not just let's tie her up and stab her. They put her through her paces. They really a lot of torture. They put shit in her open wounds. She shits herself out of fear, I guess, and they say, "Oh God, it's gross." And they scoop it up with a cardboard and they spread it all in her wounds and set her hair on fire, and it gets pretty nasty. So they subject these guys to torture, and they find out where the murder took place, and they go to investigate it, and there they find more videotapes, more deaths, more torture, more killing. Pretty brutal stuff, pretty grody stuff. It got a little gross in some parts, but hey, what do you expect, man? It's one of those kinds of movies where it actually helps. The gore actually helps the storyline. Sometimes, I mean, if you're in it just for the gore, then any gore movie will pretty much get you there as long as there's a lot of blood and stuff. But sometimes, to me, it kind of gets in the way of the story. The story and the gore went hand in hand, and it was just completely just grabbed me from the get-go and wouldn't let go until the very end. And this movie has a little bit of everything in it, okay? Got torture, murder, necrophilia, bloodlust, incest. It's got everything in there. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the budget for this movie, and I love when they do stuff like this, when they get it's a low budget, and yet they accomplish so much with that budget, which is what this did. But I believe the budget for it was $7,000. That's pretty impressive in my book. This one here is the collector's edition. It's got the Blu-ray, I believe the DVD, and soundtrack. Put out by Unearthed Films. They bring it correct. And yeah, I have to say overall, I enjoyed the movie immensely. I've got this thing about the subject of snuff films, even though calling those tapes snuff films, I guess for lack of a better term, you would call them snuff films. The subject of snuff films has always held sway over me when it comes to, on a cinematic level, movies that deal with the subject of snuff films in some way, shape, or form. I've always found them very interesting. This presented it in a much more raw, much more brutal way. Lex Ortega, I had never heard of him before. I don't know what other work he's done. But if it's anything like this, I definitely want to see it. And if he makes more stuff like this, I definitely want to see it. This is set up, I will say this without giving away too much, it is set up to where there might be a sequel, but it might have one of those cold closings where it's just like, just let your imagination run wild. Either way, I'm good. I'd like to see more, but if they don't, then okay. But the storyline has a really cool plot twist. One of the videotapes that they find kind of ties everything together. And to tell you what was on the tape would be to give away a big plot point as far as who the killer is or what he does or what he's all about. So I don't want to talk about that too much. But I will say that the movie grabbed my attention right from the get and didn't let go to the very end till the credits rolled. So this thing injected new life into my my viewing rapport, my viewing repertoire, as it were. If you got $30 laying around, go find it. You can, I believe you can find it. Well, of course you can find it on unearthedfilms.com. I think that it's about $40 there, or you can go to Grindhouse Video. They also carry it there. But wherever you get it, wherever you find it, just get it, check it out, enjoy it. If you're into gore, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. One scene in particular, the guy wants blood. He wants blood. He likes tasting blood, and I'll just leave it at that. you just see it for yourself. But that's it from me. I'd say on a scale from 1 to 10, I give this one an 8, a solid 8. One that I would recommend to friends. One that I will be watching again as soon as possible. And again and again. So there you have it, guys. I know it's been a while since I've done a review, so I wanted to come out of the gate with something pretty solid, and this is exactly that. Very solid, very awesome, raw, brutal. I have to say, effects work was really well done. Storyline, I enjoyed it. Thought it was pretty awesome. So yeah, voice is about to go out, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thanks for watching. Always appreciate it. Remember the name, ATROZ. Take care, guys. I'll be talking to you soon.